This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are trying Sultai, an Uro deck sans growth spiral. Since it was banned, do the Uro decks and the Uro ramp Nissa decks still compete? Well, they have an insane amount of power. Uro is kind of absurd, and it still exists in a world without growth spiral, but being a turn slower is a big deal. In order to make it up, we're going to try playing 4 copies of Arboreal Grazer. The problem with Arboreal Grazer, the card is absolutely terrible when you're not ramping, or when it's too late in the game. So in order to try to make Arboreal Grazer better, as in we can get rid of it and turn it into a real card later in the game, we're running 4 Teferi Master of Time, who also helps feed Uro. And then, as per absolute requirement in Standard, the end game is Hydroid Krasis, Nissa, and bringing back Uro until the opponent submits. This version of the deck is designed to be strongly anti-aggro. We have a ton of removal spells: Eliminate, Heartless Act, Cry of the Canarium, and Ritual of Soot. My first take on the deck was, I think, just way too slow. I was getting run over by everything from Winota to Rakdos, and now it's just heavily influenced on beating aggro. Even the Fae of Wishes played early often slows an aggro deck. Grazer, Fae of Wishes is a ton of toughness, and this being the end game, as well as being able to fetch cards from your sideboard with Fae of Wishes, is how you defeat those decks. I also expect to see a lot of Rakdos. The video yesterday did pretty well, and people like that deck, so I think it will be back out and about, which is why I'm running Cry of the Canarium instead of more Ritual of Soot. Extinction Event is also okay, but I can't explain my problem with that card. Every time I have it, the opponent has odds and evens, and I can't remove the things I need to remove. A card I'm really excited to have back is Enter the God Eternals. This card was no good when the opponent would just feed the target to a Witch's Oven. But now, and the Teferi would bounce here a masked zombie. That was sad too. But now, usually they have to actually do something about the zombie, and it's harder for them to sacrifice and prevent the damage, so you usually gain the life. So I feel like this card is back in a big way. The sideboard contains a lot of things I couldn't fit in the main deck and endgame ideas: Mass Manipulation, Finale of Revelation, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, Casualties of War, Thought Distortion, all cards that I think you've seen me fetch in before. If you haven't, it's pretty clear when you're looking at the board and a ton of mana which of these to get. It's the one that does the most pain to the opponent, the one you would hate the most in their shoes. We have another copy of Nissa, because sometimes we go, turn 1 Grazer, turn 2 thing, removal spell. Turn 3, you can granted go fetch a Nissa, and then turn 4 with 5 lands, you can play it. And then also over here we have the Ritual of Soot, the Jace Wielder of Mysteries, the Ashiok Dream Render, the Cry of the Canarium, the Noxious Grass, the Negate, the Disdainful Stroke, the Aether Gust, and the Duress. So now's the part where I tell the Cool Kids Club, who actually stayed to watch the intro, that I'm coming to you from the future. I'm re-recording my intro after playing the games, because this is going to be the rare occasion where I don't recommend you play this deck. I recommend I do recommend a Sultai deck at the end, but with a lot more changes. This is an example of metagaming that really didn't work out the way I expected it would today. We did not play against what I thought I would be going up against, and I would make a lot of changes to this deck in the future. So make sure you watch the whole video, and in the end I'll show you the changes I recommend. Turn 2 Heartless Act, turn 3 Uro Krasis. We can try this. It could work out. Alright, if we are in a Sultai mirror of some kind, our deck is way more skewed for aggro. If we're against Simic Flash, I'm not sure. We do have instant speed removal, which is really helpful. Think about it. I guess there might be something we're shooting down. It's Adventures, but the slow kind? Yeah, it's Adventures on a weird draw. They must have Escape to the Wilds. I don't know what else would possess them to keep such a hand. Let's get Uro going. What are we going to need against them? We're going to need strength. And Nissa is that. Nissa into Heartless Act next turn off the Triome is potentially very good. Depends what the opponent does. They pass. I have seen these decks run main deck negate. But I can't buy in, man. I just don't think they have it. Gust I've seen plenty of too. I can live with that. They didn't do anything with their turn, so they're not getting ahead with that Gust. It's just delaying. They also missed their land drop, so we know they have all spells. So you think like Bone Crusher Giant, definitely not Fae of Wishes, they would have played it. They run out Edgy, and they run out the Giant. They're just trying to hit land now. See, we can have 3 or 4 mana left over. If we want to play Cry and get rid of the Edgewall Innkeeper, we can, but then Nissa does take a hit from the Bone Crusher Giant, and a second Bone Crusher Giant can kill her. So let's go like this. And go like this. I think the opponent will block this. If they do, we'll Heartless Act the Edgewall Innkeeper. They'll be left with no board. Facing Nissa, that's pretty tough. One more card in the graveyard and Uro gets to come out and play. And if not, Hydroid Krasis. Lovestruck Beast token. Nothing else is weird. They have another Gust. Okay. So, I could float this mana, but we're still in the draw step. It would just clear. So, we'll take that action. Do the top with you. And what else do we do with this turn? 5 cards. I could go to 6. No, I couldn't. I think we just play the Krasis to have a body on the field, even though it would be a better Krasis with the help of Nissa. They're going to have to do something about it. 2 Aether Gusts so far out of the Teamer Adventure list in best of 1. That tells you what people think of the format. I've definitely seen it, though, in some best of 3 tournaments, so this could be a net deck or it could be a call. Like, the best decks are still green and red. Escape to the Wilds. The opponent reveals a Clover and a Fae of Wishes and a Lovestruck Beast, so we have to put them under pressure. Absolutely. We don't, like, next turn they're going to have a big value turn, probably with Fae of Wishes and Clover. So the more material we put on the battlefield to attack them with this turn, the more trouble they're in. I could cry these away. But, let's see. I'm not getting Uro back unless I somehow get something in the graveyard. Let's just get a Teferi. Let's get Teferi cooking.
Witness the ties that bind us all. Be wary of the ground you walk on.
So we attack. Opponent probably chumps. I think they should. Their life total is going to be under a lot of pressure if they take next turn to Lucky Clover and Fae of Wishes and try to solve the Nissa problem. Drop off those Grazers. They're not very good. I'd rather turn them into fresh cards with Teferi. Clover hits the field. The value engine for the opponent is online. They have Wishes. What will they fetch? They get 2 tutors out of the sideboard. One is probably to clean up the board, like a Storm's Wrath, and the other... maybe a negate. Oh, they get another Gust. They continue to... so they keep gusting my Nissa. Gust is only good if you're also making progress on the battlefield. Ugin. Okay, Ugin's not good against Nissa's lands. I don't know about that. But it does depend what... it does depend what they have available. They might not have the absolute finest cards to choose from. You never know. We know the drill. I'm just going to redraw it with Teferi, though. Well, they do it anyway. That's an oops, I think, but who knows. I don't see much for Cry to do. Is it better to keep land? I suppose.
Seek shelter in my stewardship. Harness the elements.
I can just do this after combat. I don't know why I floated that mana. It's unnecessary. Down to 5. We can bring the if we bring this out, it gets Ugined. So we don't have to do that. Maybe that's the key. Maybe we just don't do that because the opponent has exactly 8 mana. If they Ugin, they die. So, well, let's make that juicy then. That's true, right? If they Ugin, they die. They die to the land. So let's make them want to Ugin. That means that they're not going to. We may as well get out Uro. Another Cry, no. Let's hold this. We might need to discard it to the Teferi. They scoop it up. They also came to the conclusion that if they Ugin, they die. Wow, going first. Heck yes. Oh my gosh, game on. Let's go get a green source. Oh, baby. We have 4 lands? I might actually get to cast one of my favorite cards in the world. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful frickin' day. We got the bad juju out of the system in the last game, right? Right? Oh no. This is mono white. They play mono white. Tough matchup. We do have Cry. If we can get Cry quick enough, we'll be favored, but there's only 2 in the deck. We're gonna need a little luck. Booty of the Fae is really good though. That's gonna save us a lot of damage probably. Not mono white. Cats? Lifelink freaking cats? Okay. Hopefully we can get to Enter the God Eternals and kill that thing before too much comes of it. I guess we need another green. Courtesy fetch. Black-white lifelink. What? Enters the battlefield with soul counter. +1/+1. Alright, okay. Okay, I see what you're doing. You're very clever. Yes! Wanted to do that all day. You have no idea. Send a message. Now Uro's ready to start having a party. Okay, 3/3 Death Touch Lifelink hype. This Mace of the whatsy-whats. It might give us a hard time after all. But here's Teferi. Teferi can phase it out. We could bring Uro back, or we can just get Nissa cooking. Cook it, Nissa. Let's go. Let's untap you. I don't want to trade with that vampire, though. That vampire scares me. Let's play Uro. I'll block that vampire if I have to. I don't want Nissa to get hurt. Nissa's my girl. Pay of Wishes, keep sending a message. Nah, protect the queen. We can play the control deck in this matchup, I think. Okay, Indulging Patrician means that our life total will start going down quicker, but Uro can stabilize that pretty well. Do we trade? If we do, this goes up to 3. They can put it on the flyer, and that's a lot worse, but we have Teferi. My dog is barking her head off. because some people are on the beach. What a soldier. What a pupper. All right. If we bring this back, we can't play the Master of Time. I guess we can Fae of Wishes block. Getting Uro on the field seems pretty important to give them a threat to deal with. Who knows, we might draw a solution as well. That's solution-y. Would I rather draw a card here? I actually have a few mana problems, like I don't have that much blue. Let's put that down. Yeah, there's no way to get back to double blue, so we'll send a forest to do the job. And we will Heartless Act, destroy target creature with no counters, that thing. Epic. That Witness will be a problem, but it's not a problem yet. They're going to make a lifelink soldier, which makes sense. But it will only be a 5/5, and Uro is a 6/6. Despark the Nissa. Ouch.
I must go.
They drew a direct solution. There's one I don't see much anymore either, Despark. Seems like there aren't that many expensive cards, and there are a ton of cheap ones, or at least cheap converted mana cost, right? Like Uro and Krasis. This is passive? You pacified Uro? What the hell? Alright, Teferi, find me some goods.
If nothing else, I will protect the multiverse.
Don't think I need second Master of Time right this second. Let's just break that pacifism here. Send that Uro to the graveyard to get back the future Uro. And hold up. Seraph of the Scales. This is going to be an awkward rumble. Let's see where the opponent attacks with this soldier. Yep. Alright, I'm going to phase you. I don't want to block with any of these. Let's bring Uro back, get another card in our hand, and then make our decision with Teferi.
I've learned my lesson.
Another land. Let's hold it. Discard. Grazer can block the Seraph, I guess. And then it goes to the graveyard, so this is fine. We can cycle this. How could you be so heartless? Does the opponent want to turn this into 1/1s? I don't think so. I offer you an island. Do you like islands? It's a pretty tough matchup. We've drawn a ton of land. That has a lot to do with it. But we've also gone through some good cards. This, whatever the heck you want to call it, I'm not even going to try. It's a heck of a card. Demonic Embrace. Okay. Okay, buddy. I see what's happening. It's just all about these little things and enhancing them, I suppose. It's a pile. It's quite the pile, but I am getting a run for my money. Pride is on the line. They are out of gas, though. And Uro means infinite gas. Shuffler is cruel. Alright, save Teferi for one more turn. So if they trade the Seraph and make 2 1/1s for one of my Uros, I guess that's fine, right? The other option is we could Heartless Act this and just attack into the 1/1s, but then we don't have instant speed removal for whatever carries the Sai. So let's do this. More grazing. Tokens. Would any of them like to block? Alright, we could get back other Uro, but let's keep the Uro that's on the battlefield. Let's play a Grazer to at least make the opponent attack more things over here. We can use a phase on one of them if we want to keep Teferi alive. Healer's Hawk, yep. Make them commit to one or the other. Cycle, see what we see. Alright, we can block there, we can plus go up to 5, or we can phase and they don't gain the life. So let's phase so they don't gain the life, because it's mostly the same. And let the party continue. Come on, where's the overpowering Sultai-ness I've been hearing about? What is going on here? See if the opponent wants to trade the Uro now for the Hawk. Oh my goodness. Wish I'd done that one phase ago, that's my bad. Actually, just take this trade. It's not that bad. Our goal now is to kill all the little creatures. If we can do that, we can probably win. Keep it coming, Uro. Keep it coming. Sure. It just doesn't quit, man. Uro does not quit. There's only one more basic left in the deck, and look at all these cards. Alright. Make them commit to the attack. They can finally kill Jace, I think. Yeah, there's no combo of cards to get me out of it. Wait, they didn't attack with the... Okay, they held back the 7/7 to keep Uro away. Alright, Master of Time. Still mastering time. What a legend. Another land. How about another land? Can I get it? Grazer? Just as good, quite honestly. So we got this 7/7. It's probably going to block the Uro. I could try to draw a removal spell, but we can do that after attackers are declared. Like this. Unbelievable. Absolutely legendary. It's fine. It's just fine. We'll just do it again. Eliminate. Sweet. Now we can throw the Grazer away. They did not get back Demonic Embrace. Chose to play the land instead. And Fae of Wishes is probably lethal in some way. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We need 4 more damage. Epic Grazer moments. 4 more damage. This is 3. This is 3. Jeez. This is going to be harder than I thought. I can't steal. Yeah, I don't have a way to steal the equipment and use it. That would be totally tight. So I guess it's Ugin. Do I have a way to draw like 1 more card somehow? I guess we could try to Krasis into another Nissa to hit lethal, but opponent scoops it up. So close. Well, Heartless Act will have to keep it together because we have no ramp and we have 2 5s. Lead in with the Triome. This is mono red. Chandra's mono red. Always mono red. 1-4. Baby. Taste it. Taste it, Scorched Spitta. Yeah. Where you going? Where you going, fervent champion? You gonna attack me? You gonna attack me? No? Weird. I wonder why. Was it my 1-4-ness? Was it my queen booty of the Fae? Beyonce over here says, "You shall not pass." Yep, give me the full rope. It's fine. I don't mind. Mono red torture, I can do this all day. All day. I got time. Oh, we're done waiting. We're done. We must get aggressive. Well, you're gonna Rimrock Knight that fervent champion? Is that what we came for? Is that the play? Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, so they're also going to shock the Fae of Wishes. Let's just not let them have the Rimrock Knight at all. Bang. You get no Rimrock Knight. Yep, out of there. Wish I could have also taken down a 1-drop for that attack, but it's fine. Opponent feeling good about lighting a stage here. They hit some mountains. Classic. Alright, we are on 5th land watch. But there is plenty of removal to tide us over. Come at me, bro. I dare you. I double dare you. Alright. Nice draw. So what we can do here is play Nissa and untap the Overgrown Tomb and still have removal available.
I will aid you. Behold,
Let's go ahead and attack if the opponent... Well, the opponent can block, deal the damage, and then shock. Or Bone Crush. If they do it in the wrong order, though, we get them. Let's see if they do it in the wrong order. If they block, I'll just kill this immediately before it does damage. Because what a lot of people do is they block, and then I hit next, it goes to the damage. Okay. Well, I don't really want to trade the 3/3 for this, but it's not that bad if I do. It's fine. Like, they have no board. So let's see if they go for the Shock or the Giant right now. If not, that's fine, but they should deal the damage first. Yep, they went for it before the damage. Classic Red Mage. They didn't kill it. Another fervent champion. Meet the booty of the Fae. That's a big crisis. I don't know what I want to do more. Enter the God Eternals or play the Giant Crisis. I guess I want to do it all. I just want to do it all, guys. Well, we didn't hit an Uro, but when we do, Uro will be well fed.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Opponent has seen enough pain. Wow, that was domination. The Ritual of Soot appears. They have a Domri. What are these sleeves? Perforos? They must be aggressive. No control mage would leave the house dressed like that. Code. Your go. You say hello, I say your go. Well, Temple of Deceit. Looks like I was wrong. Laugh it up, guys. Laugh it up at my expense. CGB, wrong again. How does he have a YouTube? How does he have a YouTube? His internet card should be revoked. Well, I guess now we don't play the Fae. And they could be Dimir Flash, right? So we might want this Heartless Act. Maybe we still play the Fae. No, not with a Ritual Set. Yeah. Let's just play this. Say go. If it's a control deck, we definitely want to fetch something else with the Fae. At least force a counter spell from them. If it's Dimir Flash... Booty of the Fae would be looking good here. They're feeding the Uro. Yeah, I'm not worried about the 1/1 right now. And, okay, Spectral Sailor as well. Really wish I'd play the Fae. But how to know what to do? Dimir Flash puts you in this bind, right? Because now, if I play the Uro, they can play the Slitherwisp and just draw a ton of cards and deal a ton of damage. So I can't even play the Uro right now. I have to wait another turn and hold up the Heartless Act. Lutri. So I want very much for the opponent to counter this Heartless Act. So I'm going to give them every chance to do it, and I'm going to play it on their turn. Lutri might be there instead of like the Whisper Agent I was trying. Lutri's not a rogue, but Lutri is a very... it hits hard. It's a tough little otter. The mana's a lot tougher though. The ability to counter a Heartless Act or a Drown in the Lock is pretty cool though. Alright, the opponent says go. If they have the Slitherwisp now, then they're in a good position, so let's go for the Titan. If we draw an untapped land, we can play a 1/4. Alright, we did. Trying to set up this Ritual of Soot to be a banger. To do that, I've got to keep them busy for a few turns. We're at 17. They missed a land drop. So we can pull ahead just by playing lands and playing things they have to deal with. Fae of Wishes is a good example. And they go for a Paragon. So they don't have a Slitherwisp. I think they'd play it right there if they had it. And now we'll see if they remove the Fae of Wishes, because the Paragon is terrible if they don't. Mutual Destruction. The spell is Flash as long as you control a permanent with Flash. As an additional cost, sacrifice a creature. Ugh. AKA, here's a card that 2-for-1s yourself. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's try bringing back Uro, and if that gets countered, we'll play another Fae of Wishes. And just keep trying to play the long game here, make our Krasis bigger and better. and make sure our Ritual of Soot actually resolves. Because if we just tap out to play Ritual and don't do much else with our turn, we're going to be in big trouble.
Come back yesterday.
Okay. Opponent GG's. Alright, here's another 1/4 to continue the torture of those with 1 toughness. Man, Cry is vicious. Alright, they GG'd, but then they bounced the Uro. Just another Arena GG master. Big Krasis, big Krasis. We've got them sort of brick-walled, and they have to keep dealing with these threats. Brazen Burrows. Another 3/1. It is one of the Dimir Flash problems, but here they come. They will not be denied any longer. Oops. All right, okay. You've got the oops. Gotcha. What's it gonna be? Two dead 3/1s and a Witch's Vengeance. Wow. That is... I don't know if I've ever seen Witch's Vengeance naming Hydra. So, I guess props on something different. Alright, Grazer into Fae. I'm ready to block. I'm not ready to remove things. So we'll see what kind of threats the opponent can put forward. I also need to draw, I need to draw a blue source into Fairy to get this hand really cooking. Or I might just have to use Fae of Wishes to go fetch something. This hand is good at staying alive. I don't know that it's very good at much else. Forest off the top. We're going to need a blue source for Enter the God Eternals, so let's be on the lookout for that. It looks like we're facing mono green. Mono green with the Fox, probably. Let's go get another card. We need it. So what should we get? Well, there's Nissa. Nissa says, pick me. I definitely need a way to see more cards, but if I take Nissa, I can solve my Enter the God Eternal mana problem. So, yep, let's just curve into Nissa. Gemrazor. That's a problem. Double block here could absorb all the damage, but let's save it. We have to protect the lady. There is Master of Time. We don't want to untap a blue source. That's definitely too risky.
It cannot protect itself. Harness the elements.
Alright, we have a lot of toughness to fight this Gemrazor. Opponent finds the Henge, so now we need a Casualties of War. Yeah, good sequence for the opponent. They're not going to go away as easily as we had hoped. Are they afraid? There's nothing to be afraid of. I can't kill their Gemrazor. 4 does not equal 5. They're nervous about something, though. Oh, they're going face. Okay, fine. So they might have the Primal Might. Yeah, they really might have that. So, 2 cards to get this back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 1, 2 to get this back. then 4 to cast it. This also has protection from multicolor, so I need like Return to Nature because it's an artifact creature. I would have to discard 2 cards, which I don't really want to do. Oh wait, we need blue. All right, let's go. That gives us another body and some life cushion. We can't also play Teferi. Our mana definitely got a bit awkward. Let's just save. Oh, we can run back out of Fae. That's not the worst. Is animating the breeding pool a good idea? They might kill it. Yeah, whatever.
The land fights for us.
Let's have all the toughness we can have available here. Because if our opponent has the Primal Might, they might just be trying to get lethal. But all of these are not multicolored, so they can pile up in front of Gemrazor as much as is needed. Really could use a Krasis though. I need a hand refill. Ooze, sure. It's a good mana sink. I think the opponent though has a lot of spells. They're probably fine on casting things, and that's probably what they want to do. So if they're eating stuff with Scavenging Ooze, I won't be too upset. Can block it all day. Yeah, if this is your turn, I'm okay with that. And yeah, they did have the Primal Might. Okay. Could have been worse. We can still stop the Gemrazor. Okay, they're going for it. Am I missing something? Reach, trample. I mean, okay, they're just happy to throw it away now. It's done its duty. They're gonna try to grind me out. Okay. Game on. They should have taken out that breeding pool though.
After 1,000 years, I'm getting the hang of this.
Let's keep a backup to Fairy. Animate the forest. Say go. We'll probably phase out the ooze, but let's see what they do. Questing Beast, we can phase that out. We're about to ultimate the Nissa. And I'm sure I want to ultimate the Nissa. These being indestructible is a big game. Let the opponent commit 2 attacks. Ooze for the face. Beast for the face. Makes sense. Go away. Yep, take one for the team, Grazer boy. He's a good sloth. He's a good beast. Another Primal Might? Okay. That's obnoxious, for sure. Means I only have 1 Indestructibles. I can kill the ooze here, but I lose both phase. I still think I'm supposed to ultimate this. I'm getting really low on land, and the opponent's about to Questing Beast it anyway.
The land bestows opportunity for those who are worthy.
They enter tapped anyway, paying 2 life won't change that. Alright, they tapped low, so now's the time to get Uro back. This can attack first, then we get Uro back. Fae of Wishes can jump in front of the Ooze, Uro can trade with the Beast, then the Ooze eats the Uro, but we got some good value from it. The opponent's been tapping out all their lands, though, in their main phase before combat even, so maybe that's not going to happen. Maybe they won't remember to leave mana available for Ooze to eat Uro. We'll see. We could also try to keep Uro around to draw more cards and let Teferi die, since Teferi's going to be really hard to protect anyway. Maybe we don't need to trade it with the Questing Beast right this minute. Opponent is committed to the largest possible Ooze. Maybe we'll get to untap, return a Fae to our hand. This is why. They can give it trample. Yep, Gemrazor comes in. 10-10 trample Ooze. Pretty good magic. But I was saying we might use the Fae here and just return a Fae to our hand so we can go get some solutions. We have a ton of mana here. What do you guys think of mass manipulation? Let's find out. Where do you attack? So far they've gone face a lot. And they go face again. Let's start with a plus on Teferi. So I can keep Teferi if I want to, if I block with the Uro. The opponent does have a mana up for the Ooze. So if we discard the Grazer, they can make the Ooze even bigger, but I guess that's fine, because then they can't stop the Uro later. You know they want the Uro. You know they do. Am I going to return this to my hand? If I'm not going to return it to my hand, let's see, I can discard Uro and Master of Time. That's pretty good. I'm going to return it to my hand. Let's block like this. Down to 9. Ritual of Soot won't kill the Gemrazor. I'm hanging on to it in hopes that it can kill something else soon. Protection from multicolor too, we have to remember that, so maybe I'm just fetching a Noxious Grasp. We'll see. But we also need to deal with this Henge. Everything about this game is hard. So once again, we can bring Uro back now. Ritual of Soot only kills the Pelt Collector. Heartless Act. That doesn't kill the Gemrazor either. Impressively hard card to kill. Alright, let's attack first. Nice. Alright, QQ. What are we working with? 14, 15 mana. 1-2. Cast granted, that's 6. Get mass manipulation, that's 8. That will do. Maybe we just don't need these other Masters of Time. We're holding on to them too tightly. Don't want to run out of blue mana. All right. Next, Casualties of War. Okay. Let's just phase that out now. And they don't get the card, if I understand correctly. Okay, they still get the card. They just don't get the counter. I understand incorrectly, but that's okay. If it doesn't have the counter, the Heartless Act can kill it in the future. Activate our Scavenging Ooze. Nom. Bring back Uro.
My strength fades.
Grow the Pelt Collector, sweet. I think we'll decline that land. Enter the God Eternals. One, two, three. 12 is 15, plus 4 is 19. All I have to do is exile a creature. 13, 17, 20. Whew! Oh my lord, that game. Whew. Man. Last time we kept a hand relying on Heartless Act, it worked out. So we'll give it a shot. Our opponent has the World Championship sleeve, which doesn't mean they played in the World Championship. That's a meme I sometimes play up, but truth is that what they did was they entered the sweepstakes. I don't remember anymore. Maybe they had to pick Andrea Mengucci. Let's not play the Grazer. Let's hold up the Heartless Act. We want to catch their Pride Mate before it has a counter on it, and we want to kill their Hawk before it has an aura on it. Daxos. Yeah, we'll let the opponent keep their Hawk and kill the Daxos. Alright, so I don't want to ramp forward another land, do I? Yeah, why not? There's not a good reason not to. We need another blue source for the Teferi. Or any land for the Nissa. Do something, Grazer. Grazer of Truth. Yikes. Alright. Well, we can't have that thing start growing, so destroy target creature with no counters on it. One of the problems with the mono white deck is every card becomes a must kill when Heliod's involved, and it's a tapped land. No! Oh, we were gonna be fine. Now our opponent gets this crucial turn of setup.
Everything will be fine.
Yep.
We stand as true friends.
On the bright side, Nissa can pressure that thing immediately.
What a strange and magnificent world. Behold, nature's true power.
So they have to chump block or let Ajani go. I think they should chump block because Ajani gives 2 devotion. And the turning on the Heliod is pretty crucial here, but to pressure the Nissa, but they let Ajani die. We'll see if they have a different plan. Uh-oh. Let the life gain commence. They're doing it. They're gaining life. Make them stop. Make them stop. Alright, do I let that go? Because I might be able to block a larger Pride Mate later? No, because next turn, the Alseid of Life's Bounty can just make this unblockable. Although these are colorless, these can always block. I have to remember that. Alright, if we attack here, we can phase out the Daxos. If the opponent blocks with it, we can phase out the Life's Bounty, and then the Daxos would die, which is kind of interesting. Do we want to Uro first? Probably. But then well, no, we can animate this and then play the Nissa post-combat. Graveyard, not quite there. Alright, land. Going to burn 1 green mana here. Opponent puts a Daxos in front of a breeding pool. Yes, good. Phase out the bounty. Daxos dies. And that Daxos is a must-kill threat. It doesn't look like much, but it's strong. The opponent doesn't have a way to gain another life. Let's let Nissa go to 1. They didn't attack with the bounty, and they don't. If they had the Daxos in play, that would be very, bad. Cry. Cry can clean up the bounty, which is crucial. Five cards in the graveyard, meaning Uro can come back this turn too. We should attack first. And not with the extra land, because we're going to need it for mana. They played around Cry. I did not think I'd see a block there. Alright, we can still chump block with one of our lands, or phase with Master of Time, which the opponent might have to prevent by using the bounty. So be it.
If nothing else, I will protect the multiverse.
Another Nissa's pretty strong. I think they're going to lose the bounty in a second anyway, so I'm going to discard the Cry. We'll send another forest up here to tangle with the opponent and end the turn. Hang on to the other Nissa. Okay, we're making 1/1s. Glass Casket. Targeting one of my forests, so they plan to attack here with the Pridemate. Otherwise, the Breeding Pool is obviously a better target. Kind of glad it was tapped. Let's see if they also attack with the bounty. Okay, so keep the Nissa we have. I think so. While the opponent's tapped low, let's phase the Pridemate. Last time they chump blocked. Is it time for a double Nissa? We can do a lot of cool stuff this turn. Let's start with digging. Grazer is not on the menu. Power this up. Let's swing first. This time no chump block, interesting.
Time's up.
And the opponent will scoop it up. They have seen more than enough value coming raining down on them. And that is it. If you can get the white deck into top deck mode and get the pieces off the board, that's probably your best chance of taking them out. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and as promised, I'm going to recommend you play a very different deck, a very adjusted deck from the one that I played. The first problem with the deck I played is that when the aggro did show up, it was really easy to beat, but just about any brew that wasn't reliant on aggressive creatures absolutely thrashed us because we had too much spot removal, not enough card draw, not enough ways to take advantage of all the lands we had. If the opponent exiled the Uro with a Scavenging Ooze or a Scorching Dragonfire or something like that, we got wrecked. In fact, let's check the stats. The stats for the actual Sultai deck, not the one that you're looking at right now, but the one that I played, it only went 7-7. The first 3 match, like there were some early matches that I definitely was like trying to adjust that deck. I was getting run over by aggro. Then I made the adjustments. I had a pretty good run. And then I lost my last 3 to just odd brews, like really odd brews, and my spot removal was terrible. The Rakdos I thought I would run in today, I absolutely did not run into. So, if I were going to play Sultai in the future, I would keep Heartless Act, I would cut Eliminate. The card was pretty poor all day. I didn't run into Narset, which was the main reason I thought about running Eliminate, but Narset hoses this deck pretty good. But unless this deck is a bigger share of the meta, I just don't think you'll see much Narset. I would grab 4 Fae of Wishes, rely on them to cover the early game. They're really good at it. I would have 1 Aether Gust. Most of our decks, most of our opponents are green and red, and Aether Gust can be a really big tempo play, and I think having 1 is a pretty low cost thing. I want another cheap spot removal, but I'm also really tempted to swap out this Aether Gust for a land. I lost at least 3 of the games to never drawing land 4, and that doesn't feel like it should happen in a 28 land deck, but it does. speaking of the mana base, it was skewed to having a ton of forests for turn 1 Grazer. Now, I don't think turn 1 Grazer is very important. I think that turn 2 Grazer is just fine if it still ramps. So, I cut back on the forests, and I added another swamp so that I could fetch double swamp when I need it, and I added Watery Graves and Temple of Deceits because I found my mana to be pretty atrocious at times. But the core of the deck, we went up to the 4th Krasis because I just needed to draw it more often, and we went down to just like one of each sweeper, so the opponent doesn't know what to play around. We kept the Enter the God Eternals 4th Fae of Wishes for your early game, and a card that's also good late. And then this is the core. In the sideboard, I would make some changes as well. So, let's see. What did I swap? I took out the, what was the big card? Finale of Revelation, the one that shuffles everything back in. Because we exile our own graveyard so much with Uro that there's not really a point to that as a reshuffle. And we have Jace, Wielder of Mysteries anyway. So I'm going to try to mill myself and win with Jace instead of reshuffle my deck. And I added a Castle Vantress. Sometimes you just need to fetch that 5th land, and this one's good in a control mirror. I went up to 2 Casualties of War. Sometimes I wanted to fetch more than 1. So yeah, changes. Lots of changes to this deck. Normally, if I have this many changes to a deck, I would delete my footage and reshoot the video because I never want to give you guys the bad deck list, or as I put it, the bad deck list. But in this case, as with like some of these very flexible, over kind of powerful Simic options, I don't think the deck was bad. I think I meted wrong. So this is what I would play in the future. And as a Cool Kids Club member who watched the whole video, thank you so much. This is what I actually recommend you play. And no deck list in the description for that. So you can see the changes. I talked about the changes. Make the changes, and you will be more successful than the people who don't watch the whole video. So thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.